Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap, I'm going to show a bit more of that copper boiler I've been building. It's coming on really well now. If you want to see it sort of pressure tested, have a look on the Patreon channel. That's an out and right plug for my Patreon channel. I'll also show an aluminium welding job. It's an aluminium sump. It looks like a quick 5-minute repair. I can assure you there is no quick 5-minute repairs on cast aluminium sumps. Horrible bastard things they are. The model steam engine turned up for Deborah to build. Excellent kit it is. I'm looking forward to, well, I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to sort of watch it and do some video. She's looking forward to building it. It's great that Deb's showing a bit of interest in the sort of things I like doing, because it's always the same old saying, happy wife, happy life. I had a visit to a small engineering workshop, like a one-man band who does real high quality prototype work. And he's developed a mist spray system using mist spray and compressed air for use on milling machines and lathes. He's given me one of his setups to try on my milling machine. I'm looking forward to using it. Really is an interesting bit of gear. It'll save the white water splashing everywhere, so I'm looking forward to having a bit go with that. I'm very happy the way those have been solar in for the water gauge. I put a bit too much solar on, but whether too much is too little. I've put a quarter tap through them, cleaned the threads up. They're nice, ready to go. I've got the boiler on the lathe. At this end of the boiler here is reasonably square. That end's a mile away. All I want to do is scribe a mark on it so I can cut it square. But I'm also going to use the chuck, or at least the thing that holds the chuck on, to divide this up into 6, because I'm going to put some rivets in just to hold the tube plates in place while I solder them. I'll bring the camera in. I've already started, and I'll show you what I'm doing just to try and get this sort of nice and square, the ends nice and square. Like I say, this one's good, that one's not. If I was to try and part that off power feed, it would definitely get a grip and drive itself out the lathe. But all I want to do is just put a nice mark on so I can use a grinder to go down and get it nice and true. Probably could part this off, but I'm not going to. I'm definitely touching all the way around now. I've got a spring-loaded tap follower here, which should follow the oscillations. Oscillation's a good word. The oscillations in the pipe to mark it. I'm going to put some marking blue on, some datum first, and then we can scrape a line onto that. I love this stuff. I love the colour of it. I wish I could get a car paint of that colour. Thing is, when you put this on and you scrape a line, it's nice and bright so you can see it. That'll dry. We'll do the other end first though. It's touching the edge there. I need to go in for 15mm, which is there, and hopefully this will it is a hell of a shape that actually. It'll probably go wrong when I put the tube plates in. If I put it in the 3-jaw chuck in their end, it'll probably expand it and make it round as well. But it is putting a nice mark on. Right, so we've got a line there we can follow, no problem. We'll do the other end exactly the same. Of course this end is held nice and round because it's in the chuck. Right, once again 15mm. Right, that's better. Like I say, it's been held in the chuck, so I've got I want to divide to put evenly spaced rivet holes in. I have got a dividing head, but basically if I just use the centre of each one of those into the centre of the Allen key there, that's going to be pretty good. It's not sort of super critical, so I can line that up there, scribe a mark, do the same to the other end, and then we're going to have them all marked in the same plane, so to speak. Right, so that's the first one there. And all we're going to do is basically that. I'm going to take it up to the other end of the boiler and put a mark on there as well. We'll mark this end now. There. Another one, and just keep going until we get all 6 marks on. This could be marked with a tape measure, but it's quicker and easier for me to do it like this. Right, so there we have it. 6 marks on each end. Equidistant. Is there a word called equidistant? I think there is. And on one of them I've drawn a line from one end to the other, and that's going to be a sort of datum line or centre line for the centre of the boiler. I'm just going to put a pop mark on each one. I keep getting wrong for using a tap because people say it'll shatter. I've managed to shatter one. I've been doing it for a long time. When I've got it in here, I'm going to mark out the position for some of the various fittings as well. Like the steam outlet. And there's also going to be a clack valve for a water in, a boiler drain, safety valve. I might as well mark them off when I've got the gear set up like this. This is the bottom of the boiler. So in here I want a probably a 3/8 one to put a clack valve in. There'll be a blow down valve and probably a spare one as well. I'll put 3 in. Right, we need a mark around here. I'm going to put a one in line with the water gauge, which will be for the inlet valve or the clack valve that puts water into the boiler. So I'm going to have one there. Then we're going to index it around that way and around the other way, and we'll have 3 in the bottom all together. Might as well put them in now. I can always put a blank in, and then once the boiler's built, you don't want to start having to put bushes in, so we'll put some spare ones in now. One there, and a spare one. But I've already got the 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, possibly that one. I'll mark the other end, and then we can drill the holes in for the tube plates and go on from there. I've got coming are 4 mil, so that'll be ideal. Right, this is pure beef dripping. We'll give that a try, see what that does. It can only help, I suppose. It's certainly good. for cooking eggs in. Excellent for Yorkshire puddings. We'll give it a try. It really wants warming up so it goes a little bit thinner and you can brush it on, but I do really think it's helping. We'll try warming a little bit up, make it like an oil, and we'll give it a try. There's some things that possibly the wife is better off not doing, and that is warmed up, dripping in there, it's gone nice and thin like an oil. I'm sure this is going to work. I really am sure it's going to work. Liquid dripping. Now it sets when it cools as well, so it's actually coated the fruits and the cutter quite nicely. That's cutting much better, it really is. That's nice, I like that. Right, so now we know the secret for cutting copper is dripping. It smells nice as well. Definitely making a difference, that stuff.